we've got to talk about the hottest junior producer in the gold sector, Equinox Gold. It just absolutely ripped yesterday after earnings. In today's video, we're going to talk about the gold price because that's really important. We're going to talk about the Equinox Gold numbers and, more importantly, the facts that nobody is talking about in this report that are actually more important than the numbers. And then we're going to talk about how I'm going to play this stock because I tell you, to me, Equinox Gold, top 3 growth story among the junior producers. Let's get into it. Welcome to Hot Trades of the Day, your show for swing trading ideas for the coming days, weeks, and month. Okay, lots to talk about today, and we're going to start with the gold price, which basically has done nothing. Surprise, surprise. We know by now, if you follow this channel, that the most important line is the downtrend, the red line you see here in the spot price. Nobody's talking about it. One of the reasons is most people use the future price for gold, which fine, but if you really want to know what's going on in the gold market, you got to use the spot price. And by the way, if these are the type of information that you've been lacking to make good decisions in the commodity super cycle, in the gold market, gold miners, hit the subscribe button because these are the kind of information you get here on this channel. So for us, that's the most important thing. As you can see, we bounced off it in the beginning of August, again, bounced off the downtrend, trending lower now. Overall, nothing has happened. We're still going sideways. I still stick with my prediction that we're going to break out in August or September to the upside. Now, the way to play this is if we get a confirmed breakout above this downtrend, you go long. Because the majority of the market will start going long when we break the horizontal blue zone around 3,450 and then 3,500. That's when all the minions gonna start buying. So we have a wonderful opportunity to sit on our hands, let this all play out. Maybe we get a complete washout in the gold price and then get in at a super low price. That would be fantastic. Or we're gonna go sideways, then we can use the capital somewhere else, or we're going to break the downtrend, and that's our signal to get in. Now, why is this important to Equinox Gold? And let's switch to Equinox Gold and talk about the hottest story among the junior producers. So, it's important because Equinox Gold reported their Q2 earnings. I'm not going to go through all the numbers. You can read them anywhere. That doesn't give you any edge, and that's what you're here for, to get the edge that nobody's talking about. Full disclosure, I'm an investor in Equinox Gold. I have been for a long time. I want to add to my position since the management changed. I'll talk about that in a minute. Now, let's talk about the Equinox Gold results. They were good, but not great. They were not nearly as great as you would think, considering the pop in the stock. And what that shows us is not many people are investing in Equinox Gold yet. Not many people have that story on the radar. But here at Hot Trades of the Day, I've presented this company to you a few weeks ago, and the first limit around $6 that I told you to buy hit. If you did that, you're already up 25%. Super nice. If you like these type of information, hit the subscribe button. So, Equinox Gold, Q2 results. Beat on revenue, beat the analyst estimates, nice. Hit on the adjusted earnings per share, sounds like nothing, not true. This is the first point that the market's getting wrong, okay? The old Equinox Gold management was just let's put it like this. They were really good at overpromising and underdelivering. And the market got really sick of it, which is one of the reasons why Equinox Gold The stock is now after the merger and the management change. So interesting for us because it has been a lagger among the junior producers. And now it not only has catch-up potential, it also has a tremendous growth story. As you know, I highly recommend that you watch my videos on Equinox Gold. You can find the links here. So let's get into the Q2 results. Not the numbers, again, you can see those anywhere. Let me tell you what I like and what not everybody's talking about and what I don't like. So Greenstone, we saw improvements in mining and processing. Mining rate up 23%, processing rate up over 20% over Q1. That's exactly what we want to see, and I think that is the main reason why the stock popped. We got a net profit, that's great. Valentine confirmed to be on track for first pour by the end of August, so that's in the next 2 weeks. We're probably seeing some front running to that, but that's very important that we get the first pour here. Now, there's another factor that came out before the Q2 results that not many people paid attention to that I think is extremely positive. And that is the new Equinox Gold got gold mines in Nicaragua from Calibre Mining. Those have been absolute cash cows, unspectacular, but really reliable. And everybody's focused on the two big Canada projects, Greenstone and Valentine, rightfully so, and then the big joker, Los Filos in Mexico, that the Nicaragua mines kind of have been forgotten. However, there's still expansion and exploration going on, and Equinox Gold could report excellent results of their expansion drill program. And why is that important? Well, currently, the Nicaragua mines contribute about 30% of the gold that was produced in Q2. Now that'll go down once Valentine gets online, but it would be really, really nice if we get this constant cash cow of Nicaragua for the next years as a baseline, and then can put Valentine and can put Greenstone on top of it. It also gives us a security blanket in case one of the two big Canada mines is under its production targets. I really liked it. What don't I like? There's no news on Los Filos on the third tribe. There are issues in Nicaragua and Brazil, but they're not operational. It's a tax dispute in Nicaragua and it's some legal issues in Brazil. I personally think Equinox Gold will sell off the Brazil assets. The two big red flags that I do not like in this report is we had in the second quarter much lower grade at Greenstone than we had in the previous quarter. It was 1.06 grams per ton, and now it is 1.9 grams per ton. That's almost cut in half. Now, you can still run a very profitable mine at 0.9 grams per ton, especially if the gold price is going up. And that's why it's important that we looked at the gold price in the beginning. But obviously, that is not great. Management said that this will likely continue in the third quarter, but they do expect improvement. But that is something that we need to watch. The other point is the AISC production costs at $1,959 per ounce. Terrible. All right, there's no other way around it. That's not even bad, that's absolutely terrible. They actually got worse year over year. Now, one of the reasons, obviously, are the problems with Greenstone and the lower grade. This is also not new. We knew this, the management has communicated that with Valentine coming online, the AISC costs are supposed to go down. So that's a positive. That's why this is not an effect, right? Not a negative effect. But if the low grade at Greenstone persists, that will affect the AISC costs, and they might not come down as much as people are hoping for right now. So, outlook, we got a confirmed guidance for 2025. That's good. That means probably no negative surprises. Again, the market loves this because the old Equinox Gold management was really, really good, unfortunately, with negative surprises on their guidance. They predict growth for 2026. That's kind of obvious with Valentine's coming online, but positive to hear for production and for cash flow, very good. Los Filos, that's the joker, that's the big one. They confirmed agreements with 2 of the 3 tribes. They are successfully executed, these agreements. Now what's happening with the 3rd tribe? This story right now is Greenstone and Valentine, and these alone probably give us the potential for a double in the stock. But if Los Filos, if they solve this, this will be a major catalyst for Equinox Gold. So, as you can see, we got some good, we got some really negative. Most of it is kind of in line, which again, positive because that didn't used to be the case with Equinox Gold. So what does that mean for the stock? The stock went up crazy yesterday, up over 15%, and clearly, as you can see in the RSI, we are massively overbought on the daily now, right? A pullback is not only likely, it's almost a certainty. The question is how long and how deep will it go? And what do we do with a strategy? There was one big news that Equinox Gold really pushed that I think is a little overrated right now, but will come in handy very positively. And that is the Castle Mountain project in California, their big US project. It's about I think like 220,000 ounce per year mine if everything goes well. Always a big if when we talk about mining. They received the Fast 41 status. That's the status for faster permitting by the Trump government. That's positive from the numbers that the management gave out to what they had communicated so far. It would move the schedule up by about 6 months to receive the permits. But we're still talking probably about mine coming online in like second half, end of 2028, 29. So that's a little far out, right? But if you're looking like me at Equinox Gold, not as a trade, but as a longer term investment where you can really play the upside of the gold bull run over the coming 3 to 5 years, then that is obviously really good news. But this should not be news that is moving the stock short term. It might move it short term, but then it'll get priced out eventually because it has no immediate impact on the company within the next 6 to 12 months. That story, all Valentine, all Greenstone. So I'm a shareholder, as you know. I would have liked to add to my position. The stock just ran away from me. I was hoping it would get down to 560. That's the bottom blue line that you see there, that we would test that again. As you see, we're there at the beginning of July. I would have loved to add to my position there. We're only going to see this price if we get a crash in the equity markets, a severe correction in the equity markets, and gold goes 3,100, right? And everybody panics and sells off the mining stocks, which would be fantastic because that would be a great buying opportunity for us. What is more realistic if you do not have a position in Equinox Gold at all and are thinking about adding one? Well, that would be the red line that you see here, the gap fill about 685, and then the lower end of the yellow resistance zone, which would be around $7. That is the realistic price range right now after these news, after these changes that have happened. Remember, this company is changing rapidly. It's not the same company it was in January, February. It's not even the same company that it was in April, May, June, because they had the management change. This is a new company now. So we have to adjust to it in the way we buy this stock. If you don't have any positions, if you want to get in, that's the price range where I would get in, and that would keep some capital if we get a washout crazy sell. And if it doesn't happen, then it doesn't happen. But usually with the mining stocks, we always get a correction because they always overshoot to the upside and then come down hard. And this is just the beauty of swing trading in the mining stocks or in building up your positions. You just have to be patient. You don't run after them. Look at the June run up, right? As you can see, we got a big correction afterwards till the end of July. Great buying opportunity. In Equinox, this has happened. And again, right now, we have enough uncertainty in this company with Greenstone, with a lower grade and the high production costs, that people will take profits after great run-ups, especially if there is some weakness in the overall stock market, because the mining stocks are risk-on investments. And if we are in a risk-on phase in the equity markets right now, if we get a correction, the mining stock's probably going to correct. Now, they're not going to correct as big as a lot of people think, unless the gold price collapses. And that's why I showed you the gold price in the beginning. I do not expect that to happen, but it's a possibility, and that's why we want to have some dry powder. So overall, the Equinox Gold story continues. It has 4 great catalysts now for growth. It has Greenstone, Valentine in Canada, Castle Mountain in the US. So 3 out of the 4 projects in North America. That's what I love, as you know. And then you have the super joker with Los Filos in Mexico. Not many companies have a portfolio like this in 2025 and beyond. If you like this content, hit the subscribe button. Takes you a second, helps us out. We'll help you out because you get information like this that not many people are talking about. Everybody's talking about the numbers in the Q2 results of Equinox Gold. Those are not important. What is important, what I just told you about, is the stuff that's under the hood. That's it for today. Have a great weekend. Bye-bye.